Good morning, children, 10th class student. I hope you must have written the notes of money and credit, that is lesson number 3. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is globalization. Is that clear? You all must have heard about this name, but what is exactly globalization? This is what we are going to study in this particular chapter. It is quite important chapter and a very interesting one also. Okay, now basically let me begin with the introduction. Say for example, introduction, the first part. Today, when you go to the market, you find that the market has been completely transformed. The things which was not available, if you talk 20 years before, then 20 years before, everything was being imported, and if the thing was imported, it was quite expensive. Today, it is not like that. Whatever is we can say innumerable, we can see innumerable brands in the markets today. Our markets has been completely transformed. Those automobiles, those foreign companies which we just could hear about it, those companies we can see in our country. Earlier we had only, say for example, on our roads we could see only a Fiat and Ambassador's car. Today we can see each and every brand which is available in the world, we can see on Indian roads. Okay. Beside, we can see one more phenomena, that is a concept which has come about, that is called as multinational corporations, which are operating in every part of the world and in India too. They are coming to India because India is one country which has got a very vast market. And because of this vast market, multinational corporations are always interested in coming over here. Okay, every season we see new models also. We can see mobile phones, we can see digital cameras, we can see television, we can see the food companies, which is the food outlets which is coming up all around us. That is, we talk about Pizza Hut or Domino's or Subway or any other thing. We can find all these. That is what I mean. What I mean to say is here, within few years, the Indian markets has been completely transformed. Those things which was not available to us earlier, they are now very much available in our country. Okay, and they are no more called as, you name a product. Say for example, diesel jeans. Diesel jeans was not heard about it. It is an Italian jeans which was being made. But today we can find diesels also. We can find Levi's also. We can find number of companies which are working in our country. This is all because of globalization. That is, the world has been transformed into a small village. It is called as a global village. Okay. Now, multinational companies. Earlier, what used to happen, that in foreign trade, the underdeveloped countries, they used to export raw material. Say, for example, our country, India, we used to export raw material and we used to import finished product as well as technology. Okay, this was the condition of foreign trade, which has been completely transformed. What today is happening, that it is not only goods which are traveling from one place to another, it is services, and this people also who are traveling from one place to another. Okay, earlier, one more thing used to happen was this, that the production used to take place in the particular country, and from there it used to be exported all over the world. But now it is not like this. Okay, now this process, what we call as production, this is also this is also taking place in a number of countries. Production process has been divided into a number of smaller procedure, and it is happening all over the world. Let us see how it happens. For that matter, we are going to talk about the second topic, that is production across countries. Children, I'm not telling you about selling across countries, I'm telling you all about production across countries. When we talk of production across countries, say for example, let me give you the example first, and then we are going to see the benefits of that. We are going to talk one US based company. It is a company which makes some kind of industrial equipments. Okay. Now this company is doing what? That is, it is doing the entire research and analysis in US. We are talking about this topic. It is doing all the research and analysis related to their product in USA. Okay. Then the entire production process, it is being done, manufacturing process, it is being done in China. Where it is being done? Research in USA, manufacturing in China. Is that clear? Then from there they are shipped to Mexico. Mexico for assembly. Mexico for assembly. assembling the products. Okay, then again it goes to USA where the finishing touches are given and the final touches and the labeling, everything is being done, and then it is sold all over the world. Okay, now after sale customer care, when we talk of after sale customer care, it is being taken place, it is being taken place in India. Just imagine. One US company, it has spread out its entire production process all over the world. And the care, that is after sales services, what we call as call centers, they are being conducted, they are being proceeded from our country, that is India. Okay, to you, this process might appear as if it is very complex, very chaotic, so confusing. But by doing so, this company is able to reduce its production cost by 50 to 60%. By how much? By 50 to 60%, which is immense. Let us see how. Okay, first of all, since US is having very high technology, that is why research is being done in US. Secondly, China is known for its cheap manufacturing procedure. So the entire manufacturing is being done in China. Thirdly, since Mexico is in close proximity with the USA, that is why this entire assembling is being done in Mexico. From there, it is easily shipped back to America. India, on the other hand, it is having a number of skilled engineers who know how to speak English also very well. That is why customer care offices are set up somewhere in Bangalore. And by doing so, we come to this conclusion that this multinational corporation is able to reduce its cost by 50 to 60%, which is very immense. To us, it might appear very confusing, but this process is going on in a very efficient manner, and the company is making huge profit. This is what is production across country. Okay, what is globalization? We are going to come to it later on. First, you have to understand how it works. And one phase of globalization, another name, a synonym of globalization is multinational corporations, okay, which has given birth to globalization. Next, we are going to talk about interlinking production across countries. When we talk of interlinking production across countries, now this is also production only. As I said, it is also what? Production only. Let us see how it interlinks production across countries. Now, multinational corporations, it can operate in different manner. It can operate in different manner. First is FDI. Okay. Second is joint collaboration. Third is buying an old company, and fourth is placing orders. Placing orders. Pay attention to all this way. This was production across countries. Next we are going to talk about is how multinational corporation interlinks production across countries. Okay. Generally, what happens is this: multinational corporations, they see to every suitable condition where they find labor, where they find raw material, where they find easy market, where they find proper roads, electricity, and all that. Then it makes the investment and it establishes its own company. That is, it brings foreign direct investment. It brings investment, it makes investment in that particular country, and this kind of investment is called as FDI, that is foreign direct investment. Okay. Okay, say for example, we are having so many foreign companies, we are having Pizza Hut, we are having Domino's, we are having Subways. They are doing what? We are benefited because our people is getting employment. Plus the customers are getting a large amount of services. The youngsters are getting all the food outlets which they desire for. Okay, this is one way how multinational corporations operate. The second is joint collaboration. When we talk of joint collaboration, what happens is this: sometimes a multinational corporation is set up a collaboration with an old company. With an old company now, for both the companies, it is a win-win situation in this. Say, for example, multinational corporation does not have to do anything. It has to bring money and it has to bring technology. Okay, it already has a very base. It already has a base. It already has a market also. Everything is having that is the old company is having. It brings the capital, it brings the technology, and this is the manner a joint collaboration takes place. Say, for example, we have got Hero Honda, we have got Maruti Suzuki, we have got Ford Mahindra, we have got so many innumerable companies. If you people must be knowing it more as compared to me. This is one, that is joint collaboration. So after MBI, we have done joint collaboration, which is a win-win situation for both the companies. Third, sometimes what happens is this is the most common route also for multinational corporations to operate. Sometimes multinational corporation does not bring foreign direct investment. It neither sets up a joint collaboration, but what it does, that is it buy an old company and it give it a new facelift. And with this facelift, it starts operating in that particular country. Here is an example of an American company. An American company, the name, an American multinational corporation, its name is Cargill Foods. And Cargill Foods took over an Indian company which was called as Parak Foods. Parak Foods was producing edible oil, that is groundnut oil or any other kind of oil. When Cargill company took up this company, it elaborated its production process so much that in one single day, it is producing 5 million pouches of edible oil daily. 5 million pouches of edible oil daily. If you go to Walmart, if you buy any kind of edible oil, you see the name over there and you're going to see what? Cargill Foods, Cargill Foods, Cargill. Okay, this is the third way, that is, it buys it buys an old company, it gives it a facelift and it starts operating. It already gets one setup. Okay, so these are the three ways how it interlinks or how it operates all over the world. The fourth, sometimes multinational company neither make FDI, foreign direct investment. It neither makes any kind of joint collaboration also. It neither buy an old company also, but it does what? It places orders and gets the work done. Without any kind of base, without any kind of structure being established, it places order. This generally happens as far as garments are concerned or sports articles are concerned. Sports articles are concerned, say for example, garment, footwear, sports article, and in this, large producers are placed all over the world. They get the work done and then they give the finishing touches somewhere else, and then the labeling is being done, and so it is sold all over the world. Here we can also see the example of Walmart, which is operating in our country. In our city especially, Walmart is doing what? Walmart is an American company, but Walmart is doing what? It is getting the things from various producers, and then it is selling those things under one roof. People find now, since it is buying the things in bulk, so that is why it can decide among the price. People are benefited because everything they are getting under one roof, and MNC is benefiting because so many people are coming over there. It has got a huge market related to that. That is why so much was against. Initially, people were so against Walmart. Finally, it has done some kind of changes, and now it is operating. Anyway, okay. So we find that multinational corporation, it has its production process in such a way that it is widely dispersed all over the world, and it has so much of benefit, and sometimes it has so huge budget also that this budget of this one company can be much more than any of the underdeveloped countries. Underdeveloped countries. Their budget is so huge. Okay, say for example, here an example in your book is given, that is Ford Motors. It is operating in 26 different countries, 26 different countries, and in India, it is having what? It is having collaboration with Mahindra and Mahindra, and producing a number of vehicles every year. Okay, next we are going to talk about is the third part, that is foreign trade. When we talk of foreign trade, Foreign trade is an attraction for the producers. Why? Because they can reach beyond the domestic market. Earlier, what used to happen that people were supposed to produce the thing in their country and they were forced to sell the thing also in their country. Okay, and many times it used to happen that foreign trade, whatever was happening, it was happening if the thing was scarce in some other country and it was in abundant in one country, then the country which was having in abundant amount, it was selling it to other countries also. Okay, this is how. And similarly, one more thing was there, one more characteristics of foreign trade was there, that is underdeveloped nations, they used to export raw material, always. India, we used to export indigo, we used to export cotton yarn, we used to export so many things. And then on the other hand, we used to import what? Finished products as well as technology. So foreign trade was divided into two parts. Underdeveloped nations. They were supposed to export raw material and import finished products and technology. And developed nations used to export technology, technology and machinery and import raw material. And you all know it very well that those countries which is having a very strong manufacturing and tertiary sector, that is secondary and tertiary sector, they are the countries which are developed. Okay, so this was foreign trade. This foreign trade completely transformed with the coming of multinational corporations. Okay, that is globalization. Foreign trade was giving us one more benefit, that it was connecting the markets all over the world. All over the world, the markets were being connected. Let us now talk about globalization. Okay, today we find what? Today we find that multinational corporations are expanding rapidly in terms of investment also. As such, they are controlling foreign trade completely. This helps in greater integration of production, interconnection between countries, thereby globalization. Basically, globalization means integration or interconnection between different countries of the world. Countries of the world. This is what is globalization. Integration or interconnection between different countries of the world. Okay, and it is allowing not only movement of goods and services from one place to another, but allowing goods and services, people, and capital all are moving from one country to another because of globalization. Is that clear, everybody? All these things are moving because of globalization. Now, what are the factors which enable globalization? I'm working on this table. Factors that enable globalization. The first factor is technology. First factor is technology. We all know it very well. Technology. Today, technology is so fast that even if we are not having live, say for example, students in front of us, we are still teaching. This is a miracle. This is some kind of magic. This is the transformation which has taken place because of technology. You all can access the information of any part of the world. Okay, one thing happens in one part of the world, the entire world is affected by it. Why? Because we have been converted into a global village. Okay, we all know that there is rapid movement in technology as well as transformation in which has stimulated globalization to a vast extent. Okay, this is a major factor. We know that there is remarkable development which has taken place in information, in communication, in technology. Today we have got telegraph, we have got internet, we have got telephone, fax, okay, internet. Because of this, we can be connected to one another all around the world. Earlier, it was so difficult to call somebody who was staying in foreign country. Today, we can make a WhatsApp call. This is all because of technology. This has been possible because of the satellite communication which is happening all around the world. So one factor which has brought down globalization is technology. Fast, whether it is transportation or whether it is communication, it has been, the entire world has been revolutionized because of technology. Okay. Second, we are going to talk about liberalization. Now, from tomorrow, I'm going to talk about this liberalization because it is quite a vast topic. Okay, today we are going to end over here only. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about this liberalization. Is that clear, children? Okay, thank you. Please read the chapter.